Hello, I'm Ty Deal, and today I'm going to talk about my topic for my final research paper, which is about same-sex marriage. Um, I'm doing this as a homosexual as a case study. So I'll talk about same-sex marriage. I'll talk about homosexuals themselves, and just about the background of homosexuality. So here in my introduction, right here. In my introduction, I talked about how same-sex marriage has come about. So same-sex marriage in the United States has come a long way over the years, which it has. For example, in the 1970s, there was a poll taken about if people support same-sex marriage or if they don't. So in the 1970s, they took the poll, and it came back that not a lot of people supported same-sex marriage. And in fact, some couples in the 70s actually tried to get married but had no support. So then about 20 years later, in the 1990s, they took another poll, and it came back pretty even. In fact, though, a lot of people did support gay marriage then. So there in 20 years, it came back a long way. After that, they did a poll again in 2011 and in 2012. So about 20 years later again, which gave them the results that the majority this time supported gay marriage. So roughly, as you can think, from 1970 to 2011, roughly 40 years, it took a complete 180. So then I go to my next paragraph and I talk a little bit about some facts. So the first country to legalize gay marriage was in fact the Netherlands in 1991. After that occurred, 10 other countries followed, including Canada in 2005. So then after that, I talked about, I gave another couple other facts. When Obama was our president, he actually said in his first run that he was opposed to recognizing gay marriage when he first ran for president. After that, in the beginning of his second term, quote for quote, he stated, "Our journey is not complete until our gay brothers and sisters are treated like anyone else under the law." So roughly 4 years then, he completely changed his mind and decided that he does support gay marriage. After that, I went to my literature review. That is about some of the sources I used, and I gave a description of why I used them. After the lit review, we have our research questions. My research question number 1 is, do same-sex couples make good parents? Our second question that I chose was, if the parents are the same sex, does the children have a higher chance of becoming gay? In this paper here, then I did do some interviews. I interviewed 4 people, and I actually I made sure they had a little bit of background or experience with same-sex or marriage or any type of homosexuality. So the participants I used, though, were 4 students at Indiana University, Pennsylvania. Every participant, though, except one, had experience with either a homosexual person in their life or a same-sex married couple in their life. The reason I chose one to not have experience, though, was to see if the people that had experience then they could, if their answer was different from the person that didn't have experience, is why I did that. They had to have a little background. Some of the requirements they had a little background to homosexuality, and they had to either be a male or female. And lastly, they had to be in a relationship before. The reason I chose that they had to be in a relationship was for mostly, for my questions, because of what my questions stated. If they were in a relationship, they know a little bit about parenting, or if they had, if they were in a relationship, they knew my questions were mostly based on, parenting. So after that, my findings were that most answers for the second question were the same. They all agreed that they all stated that that if the parents are the same sex, then the children do have a higher chance of becoming gay. That's what I got from my findings. And for the good parents, the question where it says, do same-sex couples make good parents? Right here, then I found that one person said, if the parents are the same sex, the parents are not that good of a parent for many reasons. One was because there are many gender rules, like the mom, for example, might have to do the stuff inside the house, and a dad does stuff more outside. And if you have two moms, who's going to really do the outside work? And if you have two dads, who's really going to do the inside work? So that was their answer for that. And then I have my discussion, and then my conclusion is where I wrapped it up, explaining, recapping on everything I said above. And then lastly, I have my references right here. Thank you again, and I had a great time presenting my topic to you, and thank you for a great year.